was senior day, and your seniors made a big contribution, but you also had 5 guys scoring double figures. Just what does that say about the way this team's playing right now?
Well, it says we're moving the ball and sharing the ball. 24 assists on 31 field goals. I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you get 5 guys in doubles. They're a long, active defensive team. So what you got to be able to do is score in transition and get the ball moving side to side and then make good decisions. We had a few too many turnovers down the stretch. Trying to milk clock and then do something that's not as easy as it looks sometimes. But I'm just really proud of how we're sharing the ball.
Pete called Nicholas the heart of this team. Is that a fair assessment?
I think so. I mean, he's one of the best players in the league, without question. He just keeps getting better. He impacts the game when we put him in. He settles everybody down. Helps you on the glass, helps you defensively, helps you against the press, helps you from three-point range. Offensive rebound putbacks, deflections. I mean, he's everywhere, and he's really smart. So, it's a very mature thing, I think, for Pete to say.
Speaking of Nick, 42-14 was your bench points today. It's crazy good.
Well, we play a lot of guys. Pat doesn't play as many guys, typically. He rides those starters, and so it's a different team that they have than we have right now. He's trying to get those young guys experience. But I'm going to use my bench because I trust those guys. And then when you do that, they start getting confidence and they trust themselves.
Yeah, Dale, the start, and then he made that first 3. I guess how cool was that for you to see?
That was an unbelievable feeling for me to see him. I just knew he was going to make one. I mean, he's just too good a shooter. I thought he was going to make the last one. I really did. He shot it from 40 feet. He was dying to shoot that last one too. It was 6 seconds, but that's not who we are.
Fran, this will be your 7th Big Ten tournament, so you know what you see, what you're going to be bringing in headed in March. The way you guys are playing, does this feel to you like a team that can make a run?
Well, I think so. I mean, a couple of years ago we won 6 in a row. If you remember, we were 6-6, ended up 12-6. I thought we were poised at that point. So the thing about conference tournament play, and I've obviously played in a number of them, everything's different. And you look at the teams in our league, and it looks like we're going to play either Indiana or Nebraska. 2 really good teams. We were in double overtime, or overtime and double overtime with both of them. So no matter who you play, you better be ready. And, so that anybody that you play could beat you, and anybody that you play you could beat. I think that's what makes tournament play so much fun sometimes.
Realizing you still have games left, but how would you put this season for Jock in context?
Well, first of all, congratulations to you. I know, yeah. How would I put this season in context? I mean, I got a lot of seasons to think about.
But
I do that.
Just in what he's done this year.
What he's done. Well, I would say this, with all due respect to what he's done, I think he did what I expected him to do and what he expected to do. When he decided to come back, Mike, I told him, I said, you're going to lead the Big Ten in scoring. That's the plan. He said, absolutely. And, you don't look at him and say, okay, there's a guy who's hunting shots. There's a guy whose only purpose in life is to lead the Big Ten in scoring. He moves the ball. He understands how to hit the guy on the pick and roll. He understands how to screen. He understands that he's got to get on the glass if we're going to play 3 guards. And then he's got to lead a young team. And it was important for him, I think, early, not to get frustrated. He goes for 42 in Florida, and we get beat. He could have started pointing fingers and blaming me, blaming his teammates. He just hung in there with them and helped them. So, I couldn't be more proud of that type of leadership and maturity.
I know you wouldn't put a number on it before the season, but you get to the finish line of the regular season, 18-13, 10-8 in the Big Ten. Has this been a successful season and why?
Yeah, very successful.
What would you say you're most proud of with this team?
How they grew up. and how they stayed together. We had some tough moments. We didn't play well early in Florida. We didn't play well when we came back from Florida. Tyler Cook gets hurt. We had a number of opportunities. We had a 3-game losing streak. Started with a very difficult double overtime loss. We lost some games, and then turned. We were 3-5, and then won 3 in a row to go 6-5. So every time there was a little bit of adversity, we met that challenge.
What was the biggest moment or most important thing this team had to deal with in order to get to the point where you are now, peaking at the end of the season?
We had to be better defensively. When you look at those tapes early, our offense wasn't that bad. It wasn't as good as it is now. It wasn't what it needed to be. But, like I've said this a number, we score 92 and lose. We score 89 and lose. That's your defense. And it had to get better, and it's gotten better.
And I know you don't pay much attention to the bubble talk and all that stuff, but do you feel like this team has put together an NCAA tournament resume?
I think we deserve to be in. But I think what you have to do is not focus on thinking about it and talking about it, because we can do what we have to do to get in. We got to win the next game, and then we got to win the game after that, and we got to win the game after that, and then if you win the one after that, you're automatically in. So just take them, one at a time, and respect our next opponent.
How satisfying to see the hard work turn into this great stretch at the end of the year?
It's a tremendous feeling, because I know how hard I've worked, but my staff has really worked, and these kids have really put the time in. And you would expect that, I suppose, but to a man, they come early, they watch film, they stay positive, we stay positive with them, and we just kept teaching, and they just kept getting better. And what ends up happening is you have a little more success, then you have a little more confidence, a little more success, a little more confidence. And then you're doing things that you weren't doing a month ago. And then everybody's doing things they weren't doing a month ago. And now you're in a position to beat really good teams. The teams that we've beaten are really good.
Is it fair to say this is one of your more gratifying seasons of coaching? You've been in a long time.
I would say it is. I would. There's been a number that I would go back and say, oh, that was pretty incredible. I remember my senior year in college, we were 3-0, we lost 9 in a row, then we won 14 in a row, and go to the NCAA tournament. That was about as unique an experience as you could ever have. That was my last playing experience. So I don't ever, I always talk about it. I never get too high. We beat Stanford in their tournament, won it, and proceed to lose 9 in a row. And, the low point, we lose to Yale and Brown, in an Ivy League weekend. That never happens. And then we win 14 in a row, beat Temple, and go to the NCAA tournament. So I know it can happen. And so I always stay confident and positive with my guys. And I'll never let them get too down. But don't ever let them get away from themselves either. When we have, it would have been really easy after the win at Wisconsin, the way we won, to be a little fat-headed today. And this was not an easy game for our guys today. And I think that's what makes me so proud right now.
Pete didn't have much the first half with those
He was in
fouls.
foul trouble, yeah.
Yeah, that start of the second half, were you guys trying to run stuff to get them going? Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to go to him early in the first half. He got the foul right away, and then he got the other one. We got tangled up. So, I really struggled with it, and we've talked about it before, all of you guys and me. I really thought about putting him back in with about 7 minutes to go in the first half. I put him in to shoot the text and got him out right away. I just didn't want him to be handcuffed in the second half. I wanted him to be able to just go get buckets and play his game. And he said yesterday, I'm back. I'm ready.
Okay, thanks, Coach.